Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 192. It is unusually dark this morning. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know. Is the moon covered by clouds and the sun hasn't come up yet? It's just on the edge of the horizon. It is 59 degrees outside. It's probably going to be a pretty warm day. And I'm just getting started here, just leaving the house and heading off to my first casino. I think for the week, things have been really good. I think I'm ahead about 7,200. See if we can make another 2,000 or 3,000 today, and then follow it up with the same on Sunday, and that would make it a really nice week. So right now, like I said, just heading out. I don't know, not much going on. Had a nice night last night, slept well, and this morning taking the beef broth with me. I was going to end it yesterday, but my wife said she had 2 more days worth, so I did have dinner last night with the family late, and I've got 2 more days of this. I might as well take advantage of it. It's going to be good for me, help clean me out, keep me healthy. All the vitamins and everything are in there. This is homemade stuff. This is not like store-bought stuff, so I know what's in there, and we'll see how it goes. So right now, just getting moving, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I go into the first spot here and just don't do well. I start off with one play I lose $30 on, and then I lose another $170. So I'm down 200. I get back 90. I'm down 110. Then I lose almost 500 on a play, and that one was the worst. And then I was in a total of $800, and I ended up cashing out 800 or 7. No, I was in a total of 700, and I cashed out a total of 478. So I ended up down 222 for that stop. Not my best piece of work there. But, you know, what are you going to do? I was a little looser than I should have been, but in the end, I did get most of it back. So that was that. I did see another advantage player in there and talked to him for a while. And right now I'm on my way to the next casino. Had a foggy morning this morning. Yesterday I posted a picture of, it was extremely foggy yesterday at a different point in my day, but it was very, very foggy. I couldn't even see like 150 feet in front of me yesterday, but right now the fog is all cleared up. It's 75 degrees outside, and I'm moving on to my next casino. This will be my biggest one of the day, the most opportunity of the day, and so we'll see what happens with that, but take it one step at a time. I'll be back. Alright, guys, I am back. It is 2 minutes later, and you might think, man, you really solved that problem of that noise in the background. No, I did not. I am doing 5 miles an hour and slowing down. And there's some kind of accident or something up ahead. I don't know what it is, but it's adding 22 minutes to my trip if I take the exit, which is not for 1.8 miles, which is going to be an eternity. 1.8 miles at 4 miles an hour is half an hour. So I guess 4 to 10 miles an hour is what I'm going to be doing here. And then we'll have to take back roads and eventually get back on the highway. What amazes me is this happens a lot in this area, especially like from here to the next 10 miles. And it's a big road. It's 3 lanes, 4 lanes, even 5 lanes in some places. And this just seems to happen so often. I don't know what the deal is. There's always either construction or some kind of accident over here. But this is the fastest way to get there. So what are you going to do? So right now I'm up to 8 miles an hour, still pretty far away from the exit. And I'll be back. Alright, guys, it's about half an hour later. I got about 0.2 of a mile further. Well, more than that. I guess I got to the next exit. I got about a mile further. Got to the next exit, and then the traffic started clearing up. Okay? So the time dropped from like an hour and 20 minutes for 40 miles to 39 minutes. So I said, okay, then that means everything is cleared up. Well, Google was wrong. It dropped because everyone was taking the exit. So I stayed on the main road. When I stayed on the main road, after we got past that exit, then it went all the way up to an hour and 50 minutes. So I knew I was kind of stuck. And then I saw that there was a turnaround area. So I did a U-turn on the highway, took the first exit. Now I'm on the back roads, and it's going to be an hour less to get to my destination. I also noticed that my temperature in the car went up a little bit, so I'm going to keep an eye on that right now. I think it's okay, but I think it's because I was sitting there with my air on and not moving for so long with an older car that might have been the issue. But right now, no issue at all. Got my air on, I'm driving, everything seems to be fine. So, right now we're going to be arriving at our second casino an hour later than expected, but it would have been 2 hours later. And the one issue I have now, which was not going to be an issue, was I have a late meeting today, and that late meeting is now not so late. So that meeting is at 2 o'clock, and 2 o'clock really is not that far off now. So I'm going to get to the next place, probably go to one casino, maybe two casinos in that area, and then I may have to stop for the meeting. If everything goes well, everything goes quickly, I may be able to hit 3 casinos, but definitely not more than that. And then I would probably do that hour meeting on the drive to the next casino from there. So I would abandon any further casinos in that area to start driving on, and I would do the meeting during the drive so I get further on my trip. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Finally, everything is back on track, back on the highway, heading toward the casino. I'm only going to be an hour later than expected instead of 2 hours later, but man, that was terrible for a long time, and I'm actually lucky that I didn't take the first exit. That I ended up taking a different exit because that one was so backed up that also would have made me later than I am right now. So everything ended up working out and getting close to my next casino, and we're going to go in there and we're going to rob this place, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. Let me tell you another. You thought yesterday was a crazy story? Yesterday was nothing. This is a crazy story. So I go into this place and I'm looking for like a $25 or $50 table to play. I'm looking. I see some that have like 2 people, some have 3 people. I'm trying to find one with 1 person or no one at the table so I can sit down. I don't see that. Looking at $50 tables, nothing. Go to the $100 area, nothing. I'm like, what? Oh no, not this traffic again. Let me put this in the GPS here and see what happens here. But so still, I can't find, even at the $100 tables, I can't find anything. So I'm like, okay, I'll just come back. So I walk around a little bit more, I come back, and one of the $100 tables is cleared up. Now, $100 is far from what I want to play right now. I'm trying to make a recovery. I'm worried about my game, making sure my game is good. Ever since I lowered my bets, I'm winning like crazy, right? And I'm winning more than I was winning before. So anyway, I end up having to sit at this $100 game. I buy in for $500. Everything is fine. First hand, 20 dealer blackjack. Second hand, ace-9 dealer blackjack. I'm like, well, that just screwed that shoe, didn't it? So I continued to play, and I lost the 500. I bought in for another 5 and another 5 and another 5. I was in for 2,000 total. At this point, I'm making kind of a comeback, but not really. I'm mostly just treading water. Now I've been there for 45 minutes or so, and I lose that 2,000. Now I have a high count. I buy in for 1,000. Boom, boom, lose that. Buy in for 1,000. Boom, boom, lose that. Now I'm in for 4,000. The shoe ends. I'm like, oh, this is nice. So I buy in for 500 more, and I'm just taking it one step at a time. And I'm getting it up to like 1,500, 1,800, and then I lose it. Now I'm in 4,500. Between 4,500 and 6,500, I got a little lost with how much I was in. I was pretty sure I was down 6,500, and they don't have to tell you if you're not playing rated. And so I asked the guy, and he told me 65. I said, okay, that's what I thought. And he's like, are you sure you don't want to be rated? I mean, you're playing some big amounts here. You can get a lot of comps. I said, no, that's okay. What am I going to get? A $60 free bet, and then I'm going to come here more often to play the free bet, and I'll lose. And he said, yeah, that's pretty smart of you. I said, I know. Anyway, so I'm in 65 now, and then eventually to 7. And nothing is working. All the big bets are losing. The doubles are losing. 5, 6, 7 card 21s. I split sixes to 4 hands and doubled 2 of them on a $400 hand, and lost them all. How much is that? 4 times 6, 2,400. That's a $4,800 swing between a win and a loss. That hurts, man. That really, really hurts. So, anyway, at this point, I'm like, all I want to do at this point is level things off, make some of it back, and then figure out my timing, because I can't stay here forever. I got a meeting coming up. I had that 2 o'clock meeting I told you guys about. Well, that never happened. I texted, I said, I might be late to the meeting. They said, okay. And then I didn't even make it to the meeting. So, sorry about that. But, I mean, I was in a lot of money, and the shoes were all high counts. So, you know what I start thinking when that happens? Where's the 10s? Every shoe is a high count, and there's, but eventually things leveled off a little bit, and I worked I was in for 7,000, and I worked that back up to being down, I was down about 2,000, so I had about 5,000 in front of me, and then boom, lost it all again. I'm like, this is just insane how bad things are going right now. So now I'm in for 7,000. I rebuy for 1,000 because it's a high count. I'm betting one hand. I'm not even betting that high. I'm betting one hand at 100 to 2 hands at 500, or one hand at 1,000. I only did one hand at 1,000 once. So I buy in for 1,000. Now I'm in for 8, and then 500 more. That's 85. And then 1,000 more, and I had like a running 19 with like 3/4 of a deck to go. So I put the whole 1,000 out there. I get a double down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in for 9,500. I have an 11 against the face card with a huge 18, 19 running count, which is like a 24, 25 true count. Do you double it? Do you give your ID after playing at this place for 3.5 years and them not knowing who you are? Do you give it up for one hand? I decided no. What I was going to do was buy in for 500 and be in for exactly 10 or 400 and be in it for 99, but I decided just to hit it. I hit it and I get a 4. Now, this is even worse, because if I doubled it, I'm getting one card, and I don't have a choice to hit it or not. So now I've got a 14, 15, and against a dealer 10. So you could play it as, okay, let's pretend I doubled and not take another one, but that's not basic strategy. No, I got a 3 or something. Anyway, what I should have done, and I wasn't thinking of the deviation, is I should have stayed. And I didn't stay. And I mean, you don't really think about those deviations very often, but I hit it and I busted. So now I'm down $9,500. The shoe is over. What do you do? Can you imagine if I had doubled that hand? By the way, if I had doubled that hand, I would have won. The dealer had a 5 underneath. So that would have been a $2,000 hand, would have brought me up to $4,000, and I would have been in for 10.5. Instead, I'm down $9,500, and we're starting a new shoe. Start the new shoe, I buy in for $400 on a $100 table. And the next shoe, I'm doing pretty good. I'm chopping back and forth with the dealer. I'm gaining ground. 1 unit here, 2 units there, 3 units there, and I'm coming back slowly. And by the end of that shoe, I've got about 2,200 in front of me. I'm like, dang! All those hands that I played with a good count, doing all the right things, and I was getting slaughtered. And now, when the counts are even, +2 true count, +3, I'm winning most of those hands. Start another shoe, work it up to probably 35 or 4,000. Couple more shoes go by, I work it up to 6,500. So now we got other stuff going on now you got to worry about, right? You're worried about, now you got too many chips in front of you, who's watching you. And I got to tell you, there's this pit boss was watching me, and he looks like one of those really like strict looking Asian guys, you know, the guy who's going to yell at you, kind of a chubby guy, you know, but he ended up being a super nice guy, and he was pulling for me, and, you know, he was like, you know, if you start getting half of it back, you got to leave. And so anyway, I had like 6,500 and the shoe ends, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and color up some of this. So I colored up 4,000, put it in my pocket. Now I've got 2,500 on the table. I worked that up to about 4,000. So now I've got $8,000. Think about it. And the pit boss even told me, sir, do you realize you were down to $200? I'm like, yeah, I do realize that. And he's like, don't you think you should leave? You've got like 7,500 in front of you. Yeah, I think I'm okay. It's a positive count, sir. So anyway, I get up to like 8,000, and I color up another 1,000. Now I've got 5 in my pocket. I get that up to like 3,500, and I put another 1,000 in my pocket. Now I've got 6 in my pocket. Let's see, I needed to get to, yeah, that's all I had in my pocket. I didn't put any more in my pocket after that. I kept the rest on the table, and I'm working toward breaking even. I get to 9,600. I've got a high count. I bet it. I go all the way down to 400 on the table. Now remember, I've got 6,000 in my pocket. So get down like 400 on the table. So now I'm down like 6,400. And then start working it back up again. One chip at a time, work it up to 2,500, then back to 200, working it back up, and believe me or don't believe me, I don't care if you do or not. If you want to come visit, I'll take you to the casino and you can ask them what happened, but this is truly what happened. And then I sit there for about 2 hours between $7,000 and $9,000. And I finally end up leaving that table. Actually, let me tell you what happened. I had a okay count, called for a $200 bet, and I'm down 400. I'm down 300. And the count called for betting 200. And I say to the dealer, how many more hands are there? And she says, this is the last hand. I'm like, am I going to bet 300 and then lose it? And I bet the wrong amount and I'm going to kick myself? No, I'm not going to do that. I bet 200 on that hand, and I get an 8-3 against a 10, like deja vu, right? with that other big hand that I had. Oh, low fuel. I thought it was something bad. So I get 8-3 against the 10. I double it for 200. Boom, gives me the king. Now, and then she busts. Also, I had 21, and then she busted. And now I am up to $10,000. Starting with $9,900, losing $9,700. I get up to exactly $10,000. How much do you think I tipped the dealer? You want to take a poll? I should put a poll out there. That's right, $0. No money for the dealer. And I end up coloring up and walking away with $10,000. Now we got, I mean, that's an enormous relief, right? I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So now what do? I got to figure out, what am I going to do now? I've got $10,000. I got to cash some of this stuff out, right? So I go to the high limit cashier. I cash out $2,900 because their limit is $3,000. I should have done less than that, but whatever. I felt like I'm going for it. $2,900, and then I go to the low limit cashier. I cash out $2,600. Then I go to the poker room. I cash out $2,000. Then I go back to the regular cashier, but I stand in the VIP line. It's a new concept that I came up with there. Stand in the VIP line without a VIP card. And then I went up there and I put the chips. I said, "How's it going, man? Nice to see you again." I had never seen that guy before in my life. I think he was new, actually. Put the last $2,500 out on the table. Wait a minute. And put the last $2,500 on the table, and he cashes it out for me, no problem. And I'm like, thank goodness, I'm out of here. But then I remembered something. I haven't looked at the slots again. I need to look at the slots again. What's wrong with me? So, I gotta take this exit to get some gas. So I look at the slots. I only find one play, which is good. And I end up leaving ahead $8 on the slots. So plus $8 on the slots, and plus a whole $100 on the blackjack. And I forgot what I lost this morning. Didn't I lose something this morning, like $100? I didn't put it in my log here. I'm gonna have to listen to what I recorded to see. But I mean, what can I say? It was very, very tense. But I felt like I was so focused. Everything was so clear to me. I never panicked the whole time. I mean, I was a little panicky when I got the bad card on the double down, but you know, that's, other than that, I really wasn't panicked. I did all the right things, and I feel like one thing that helped me today was not eating. I felt like just having the broth really helped me focus. I didn't have something heavy in my stomach that was weighing me down. And I think that really did make a difference. And I'm watching some YouTube videos about it, and people are saying that it helps them concentrate and stuff. But what can I say? I mean, the kind of hands that the dealer was getting, and there's a side bet there, and I hit the top side bet that they had 2 out of 3 hands. And the dealer's like, right there, that would have been 10,000. That would have been 12, whatever, 9,000. So it's just one of those things, man. It's hard to explain the feeling. I'm just trying to think back all those times, and that grind and that grind and that grind. And I feel like it did help me too, to have some chips in my pocket. Not only so that security doesn't see a lot of chips in front of me, or surveillance doesn't see a lot of chips in front of me, but also for my mental well-being. I feel like it was helpful to have less money in front of me, and for me to say, okay, I got 4 in my pocket, I need to get this to 6. So I have 3 in front of me, I need to get the 3 to 6. that seems a lot easier than I need to get this to 10,000. And whatever it was, I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, it all worked out. And very fortunate. Nothing more I can say. I should have lost it. And this will be another complaining session here. But thankfully it all worked out. So anyway, I'm going to stop right now and get some gas since I'm down to 30 miles range. Not the greatest gas prices here, but I can get some gas here. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I was at that table for 4.5 hours, just about 4.5, like 4:25. So it was a long time, and I'm really amazed that I don't know. I'm amazed and not amazed. I mean, I kept my cool the whole time, and I did all the right things, and that's what's important. So, all right, guys, I am back. I did get some gas due to time limitations. However, I'm going to start heading toward home. Still places to stop, but I can't continue the journey the way I was planning on doing it. It's already going to be 11 probably by the time I get home. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to be adding that much more stuff. The delay in the traffic, meetings, 4.5 hours at that table. Those didn't help much. It took me over 5 hours to get here. And so that's just terrible. I could probably get home at 10, but right now I'm moving on to another casino. I was just thinking, I just did 50x my money. I went from 200 to 10,000. Imagine doing 50x that. That's $500,000. Isn't that crazy? Unbelievable. But all it is different colored chips. It's just the way things worked out. So, and honestly, I didn't have a chance in the world until I got it over 3,000 or 4,000. Then you had a chance at it. But technically, from my experiments that I've done at home and keeping track of what I've done at casinos, you need at least 80 to 100 bets to be able to play. And that was exactly 100 bets, 99 bets. And it was definitely not a good day as far as all that stuff, because I really should have lost. I shouldn't have been able to make it back. But it's just positive variance. I was able to get it back. And I think for the day I'm down like $114 overall. So anyway, moving on to the next casino. Alright guys, continuing my trip home. I went to that casino and it was tough to find any place. I did find just a couple things, and it was really packed. It's Friday evening already. Obviously I didn't want to spend this much time out, but that's just the way things turned out. But I did end up ahead $129. That puts me ahead, I think, for the day, $13. So $13 with all that play, and probably about $80 in gas used. But what are you gonna do? Definitely dodged a big one today, and glad to get out of there alive, and everything worked out okay with that. So obviously I could have stayed longer and played longer, but really, I mean, come on. I just went from 200 to 10,000. Do I really want to push these guys anymore? So, and the pit boss the whole time was telling me, oh, you've got half of it back. You've got 60% of it back. You've got 2/3 of it back. You got to go. You got to go. So, anyway, right now it is raining outside. It is 81 degrees. The temperature got into the mid 80s earlier, but it's steadily dropping right now, and it's about to be dark here pretty soon. So I'm gonna sit back and relax and enjoy the ride home, and just think over everything, and be happy that things worked out today. So I will be looking at more emails. I know I'm still behind on them, but I'll be looking at more emails and replying to them soon, and possibly on here. Look for me on Sunday night. I should be doing a trip, so that probably won't be published till I'm on my drive home, which is probably going to be around 4 o'clock in the morning, or 3 o'clock in the morning Central Time. So just to give you an idea of about what time that would be published. And we'll talk to you then. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.